right, guys. Now, let me start off by saying, welcome to Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host, Jennifer. I have been working diligently, I got an itchy hair there, to complete a project that I brought up in my head for the Halloween Mail 2020 that is hosted by Ricolas Crochet Corner. Her name is Crystal. She's a really nice person. I will link her below. I will link the video for the Halloween Mail below. Hashtag Halloween Mail 2020, I think, is the hashtag. You can go to her group on Facebook. I will link that below. There's lots of links below. They all go back to Crystal. So she decided to host a make-along. It's not just a crochet-along. You can make anything Halloween related and enter it into the make-along. Crochet, knit, loom knit, plastic canvas. I believe she even accepts paintings, which I might just paint something because you guys don't know this, but I used to paint. So my daughter now paints, but I haven't painted in quite some time. But I love especially painting scary looking trees and pumpkins and all that good stuff. So with that in mind, I'm really nervous showing you guys what I made because it's not what I envisioned. I was living in this giant bag that I got. It is a blanket. I wanted to go big or go home, right? So I was trying to think of what I could make that would be, honestly, I was trying to impress Crystal. So I know that I entered her crochet along last year. She was doing a bag make along, and she really liked the theming of the bag that I did. It was an under the sea bag, and it had like sea creatures on it. And I still have that bag. And she really was impressed with the bag. And so I wanted to try and do something along those lines to where it was not just crochet project or knit project, but I wanted to do something that represented that. Because to me, yeah, I was trying to impress her, but yeah, I wanted to do something fun and for myself, because I've been doing a lot of stuff just for the channel lately, and honestly, I'm getting worn out from that because I was trying to do Vlogust, and I'm still trying to finish off the month of August, but I was trying to put content into the channel, and I'm not. It's wearing on me. It's been exhausting. I don't know how people can vlog every single day. I think with everything was coming back to school and just the changes in my household and just so much is going on. I'm tired. I'm worn out. So I wanted to do something that I thought was fun, that I could enjoy. And then I ended up doing what I always do. I put a bunch of pressure on myself to make it perfect, to be perfect, to get it done fast. And I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. However, I used up a ton of yarn. There's actually holes back in my shelves again. Don't worry, there's yarn on the floor that will fill it up because birthday presents are sitting on the floor that I haven't had space to put them in, but now I have space, so you know, we're all good again. So without further ado, actually I should say this. I was sitting here and I was talking to, I believe I was talking to my sister on the phone. And I was like, I was talking to her about the Halloween Mail, and I was talking to her about the channel, and I was talking to her about just, you know, what I've been working on. And like this idea specifically just like smacked me in the head. And I hurried up. I was like, hang on, I got to write something down. And I wrote down the idea and I drew it out. And it is not what I envisioned in my head, but I'm very happy with it. And looking at it, it makes me happy. So I had the idea to do a blanket, but I wanted to do a scene like Halloween night. And more specifically, Halloween night in the pumpkin patch. So we got some sparkly yarn. This is Hobby Lobby Sparkle something or another. Got the sky. This is a big, it's wide, but it's not very tall. And then the pumpkin patch. So we start off at the bottom. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to talk louder. We start off at the bottom with some like dirt part and then some grassy parts. And the pumpkins are growing in the pumpkin patch. And then the night sky. So I have no idea how I'm going to photograph this to get it online. But because I tried putting it on my bed and just shooting down at it, and it looks warped from the angle of the camera. So I may have to hold it up and take a picture of it, or I may have to hang it on a wall, or get out my backdrop system that holds backdrops for photography and hang it on that and photograph it. I don't know how I'm going to photograph it to enter it yet, but this is it in most of its glory. And I'm glad it's done. It is not a normal size. It's square because I thought I was going to make it long, but I made it too wide this way. So it ended up being a lot shorter than I thought. But it's a perfect lap blanket. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I'm really happy with it. I especially am glad because I will say, aside from the leaves on the pumpkins, this was a pattern from the Crochet crowd, I believe. I think this was Crochet crowd. It might have been Yarnspirations. Anyway, so aside from the leaves, everything else on here is freehand. And I left like the curly cues on the pumpkins are all just left to dangle. Left to dangle. I made different shaped pumpkins. Round, elongated, giant. They all have danglies. Some of the vines are loose. So this would not be a good baby blanket because there is a risk for entanglement. Just because some of the vines are loose. And I did that because I want it to look like pumpkins. And then some of the dangles are longer. This is all just me playing with yarn. There's no patterns for any of these appliques. It's just me playing with designs and shapes. And that was like the funnest part of it. But I'm glad it's over. And I actually weaved in all that. That was a lot to weave in after sewing all those on. And then let me tell you a story. Oh, let me tell you a story. After I crocheted all the back of the blanket, I crocheted all the appliques, okay? Then I laid this flat on my bed so I could see where I wanted the appliques to go. And I sewed them down while it was on my bed, okay? Because that way I had a flat surface under it, especially towards the middle where you can't like just grab it or else you'll be sewing the blanket together. Like it was a whole thing. I was using a dull wool needle that had like a complete rounded head. And I'm sewing along and I went to go pick the blanket up to move it over. I sewed the blanket to my sheet. How? I have no idea because there was no pointy part on the needle. The needle is dull. So I'm looking at all this hard work of these appliques crocheted to the blanket, crocheted to my sheet. And I said, Mr. Cinnamon, should I cut the appliques or should I cut the sheet? And he said, I'll buy new sheets. Cut the sheet. So we need to go buy new sheets for the bed because I had to cut the sheet to get the blanket off. Because I'm pretty sure this one in particular is the one, and I did it more than one time. So it was a whole thing. So now I have holes in my sheet where I had to cut it because I sewed the crochet to the bed. Oh my God, it was crazy. So anyway, what I was gonna say before I told you all that. A lot of this yarn is from Stash. Well, actually all this yarn is from Stash. I didn't pay a single penny to make this blanket. This is some beige, gross, I think this is like old Super Saver. And it didn't have a label on it, but I'm pretty sure I got it from the thrift store at some point. And I used that for the dirt. And then this is 4 skeins of Vanna's Choice that was on my shelf. I'm not a fan of Vanna's Choice either. I think it's a little bit rough. It's not my favorite. This is 4 skeins of that. And then I had some random blues that I striped in together. Scraps. And then I had 1 skein of the Sparkle Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. And I think this is the color Royal. But man, that added to the starry sky effect so much. I just love that. All right, that's making me hot. I'm done with that. But that is my entry into the Halloween Mail 2020 from Ricola's Crochet Corner. Of course, everything will be linked below. But I just wanted to show you guys what I've been making because that was a lot of work. I've been working on that for, I don't know, right after she announced it. So I don't know, was that 2 weeks ago maybe? Yeah. But that's not bad. Like a blanket in 2 weeks. Like I never would have been able to do that before. But I crochet really fast now. And I kind of get obsessive about it. So yeah. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. Yeah. Have a good day and have a good rest of the week. And I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.